His name was Nelson Nash. And he really just flipped my lid. He really changed my perspective on money and banking. And so I became an authorized practitioner with the Nelson Nash Institute Infinite Banking Concept practitioner. And Nelson was my personal mentor. I hosted him many times. He did seminars all around the world. And I learned a lot from him about money and banking specifically. So, yeah, that was really a blessing. And that's really what my practice is based on now. I teach other people how it works. And, there's a famous quote, I'll butcher it up a little bit, but from Henry Ford, it said, if the people of this nation understood how our banking system worked,
Mm.
there would be a revolution by tomorrow morning. And I think people are waking up to that fact. I mean, the Federal Reserve is in the news quite a bit lately. And, of course, the talk today is, reducing rates. But I don't know if that's the fact that we've reduced rates in the past is really why we're in the uh, hole that we're in as far as debt goes, right? Because our government is broke. And so if you're depending on a government plan, whether it be an IRA, a Social Security, or Medicare, all of those plans, those systems, pensions are broke. And if people just understood the magnitude of that debt, they would stay away from them, right? But otherwise, they can take control today. This is something that most people, again, just are unaware of. And that's what I teach them is how to take control of their finances.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Q Edmonds, and today I have a guest who we talk about 40 years of experience doing what he do, right? So this person has a wealth of knowledge. He knows what he's doing. He's been in the game for a long time. He loves helping families and helping businesses solve money problems, right? Trying to get them sometimes out of the muck that they may be in. And so, when they don't have the experience, this is the guy that they go to. So I need you all to help me introduce, you're not going to help me introduce, but let me just introduce to you, Mr. Barry Page. Mr. Barry Page, how are you today, sir?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. I think our listeners are really going to get something away from your approach to just life. I think your approach to, the way you're helping people, helping families, helping businesses. And so I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I know you talk about investment, you talk about insurance, but I'm going to let you have the floor so you can talk about and let the people know what it is that you're doing. So if you don't mind telling the world, bring us into your world. Tell us what's your main focus these days, and then maybe what markets you're operating in as well.
Well, my focus is really just helping families and professionals, really, and whether that be business owners or professionals or just small families. Once people have children, they become different people. Kids, marriage definitely change you, right? You have a different perspective on life. So, one of the biggest reasons, and I didn't plan on bringing this up, but one of the biggest reasons for divorce is finances, right? So if people once they get married and once they have kids, if they don't have their finances in order, if that doesn't change them, then things can go wrong, go south really quick. And so I help people reduce their risk, and that's really a big part about it. But from an investor standpoint or somebody in the real estate game, I can help them increase their profits and reduce their taxes along with reducing the risk. So that's really my focus. I love helping people. I tell people I have the best job in the world because I really think I do. It's just great to be able to help people and see them enjoy the fruits of their labor.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Now I can't say it as smoothly as you said it. I don't even think I can get all the words, but I think you say you're a 20-year card carrying practitioner. Like, clean that up for me. How did you say it, man? Because you said it so smoothly, man.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
I met a gentleman about 21 years ago, right when I got in the business I'm in.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I teach other people how it works. And, there's a famous quote, I'll butcher it up a little bit, but from Henry Ford, it said, if the people of this nation understood how our banking system worked, there would be a revolution by tomorrow morning. And I think people are waking up to that fact. I mean, the Federal Reserve is in the news quite a bit lately. And, of course, the talk today is, reducing rates. But I don't know if that's the fact that we've reduced rates in the past is really why we're in the hole that we're in as far as debt goes, right? Because our government is broke. And so if you're depending on a government plan, whether it be an IRA, a Social Security, or Medicare, all of those plans, those systems, pensions are broke. And if people just understood the magnitude of that debt, they would stay away from them, right? But otherwise, they can take control today. This is something that most people, again, just are unaware of. And that's what I teach them, is how to take control of their finances. I can help them increase their profits and reduce their taxes. Along with reducing the risk. So that's really my focus. I love helping people. I tell people I have the best job in the world because I really think I do. It's just great to be able to help people and see them, enjoy the fruits of their labor.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Now I can't say it as smoothly as you said it. I don't even think I can get all the words, but I think you say you're a 20-year card carrying practitioner. Like, clean that up for me. How did you say it, man? Because you said it so smoothly, man.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
I met a gentleman about 21 years ago, right when I got in the business I'm in. His name was Nelson Nash, and he really just flipped my lid. He really changed my perspective on money and banking. And so I became an authorized practitioner with the Nelson Nash Institute Infinite Banking Concept practitioner. And Nelson was my personal mentor. I hosted him many times. He did seminars all around the world. And I learned a lot from him about money and banking specifically. So, yeah, that was really a blessing. And that's really what my practice is based on now. His name was Nelson Nash. And he really just flipped my lid. He really changed my perspective on money and banking. And so I became an authorized practitioner with the Nelson Nash Institute Infinite Banking Concept practitioner. And Nelson was my personal mentor. I hosted him many times. He did seminars all around the world. And I learned a lot from him about money and banking specifically. So, yeah, that was really a blessing. And that's really what my practice is based on now. I teach other people how it works. And there's a famous quote, I'll butcher it up a little bit, but from Henry Ford, it said, if the people of this nation understood how our banking system worked,
Mm,
there would be a revolution by tomorrow morning. And I
mm,
think people are waking up to that fact. I mean, the Federal Reserve is in the news quite a bit lately. And, of course, the talk today is, reducing rates. But I don't know if that's the fact that we've reduced rates in the past is really why we're in the uh, hole that we're in as far as debt goes, right? Because our government is broke. And so if you're depending on a government plan, whether it be an IRA, a Social Security, or Medicare, all of those plans, those systems, pensions are broke. And
mm.
if people just understood the magnitude of that debt, they would stay away from them, right? But otherwise, they can take control today. This is something that most people, again, just are unaware of. And that's what I teach them, is how to take control of their finances.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
They don't have to depend on banks. They don't have to depend on the government, when it comes to their savings, and if they want to retire someday, or maybe they are investors. That's where they can take control. So that's really enjoyable whenever that little bell goes off in their mind, that light comes on, that hey, I can control that. I don't have to depend on someone else for that.
Absolutely. No, man, I love it. I love it. I love it that you're out there giving people the information because you're right. Some people don't have the information. They don't realize that. So you informing them and educating them is huge. So let me ask you, I mean, of course, getting that message out, you can hit some road bumps. Things are not always especially easy in this climate, right? So what's
Yes.
what's your key to keeping your machine running smoothly? What you do, getting the information out. How do you keep yourself kind of running smoothly and even kill? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, I like that word engine. Yeah, because that's what we kind of call it sometimes, is an engine. It's a system. And you know, we have hiccups. Matter of fact, just prior to this, I was on the phone with a client, and that's what he called it, a hiccup. He said, I've had a little bump in the road with my finances, and wanted to know if he could change some things. And the answer is yes, you can, because the plans that we advocate are very flexible. But yeah, we all have hiccups. Just kind of, I'll give you one example from the past, and then I'll give you one from right now. But I've been investing in real estate for over 40 years. Uh, Went through some hiccups. I went through a divorce several years ago, but really 20 years ago this month, Hurricane Katrina hit where I did and
Mm,
where I live. And, so we had a bunch of real estate. And I realized, and I thought, man, I was on top of the world. I had cash flow from these properties coming in every month. And then the next thing I know, all these properties are underwater, and literally. So, we had to make some decisions. The insurance did not pay for months, and we had tenants in these properties. Well, one, I couldn't control the hurricane. And so I had to really think on my feet. I had to come up with about 60 grand real quick. And,
mm,
most, we had IRA retirement plans. You can't really get to that money until you're 60. If you've got mortgages, the banks, they really don't care what happened. You know, your mortgage is still due. So even though these properties cash flowed, I had to pay the mortgage. And since the tenants couldn't technically live in them at the time, which presented a whole other problem, we had to be quick on our feet. So I was at that time, 20 years ago, just getting into this business, about a year in it. And you can think I'm helping people with their financial plans, but they don't have a house, they don't have a job because everything got destroyed. So that was a big hiccup. And I learned real quick that I could not control those things. And it really wasn't the hurricane that hurt us so bad. It was about, because again, I was able to borrow against my own private banking system that I teach people how to do and get those houses repaired and get the tenants back in them real quick, way prior to the insurance paying, right? Because I had access to the capital.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Couldn't borrow from the banks. The mortgage, they didn't care about the mortgages. But here's what happened. Shortly thereafter, about a year later, taxes went up. Okay. It went up, 1 to 300% in some cases, right? So then insurance went up. Again, these are things, when I say insurance, I'm property and casualty insurance. You had to have a separate wind and hail policy. You had to have a separate flood policy. So all the cash flow from these properties was gone. So we had to adapt. And that was a, problem from the past. But since we're coming up on the anniversary, I thought it'd be good to mention, especially since we're talking, I know many of your audience are real estate investors. So you can't plan on those things really other than to be prepared. And you want to be in control. I was not in control, even though I thought I was. Wasn't in control of the mortgage. I wasn't in control of the insurance. I wasn't in control of the taxes. And I certainly wasn't in control of the weather, the hurricane. As our friends in Chattanooga, Tennessee are going through right now, not a hurricane, but they just had some bad floods over the last couple of days. And my kids were born in Tennessee, and I'm up in Chattanooga area quite a bit. So prayers to them. But more recently, kind of a hiccup or roadblock is, let's just say, AI algorithms. The landscape has changed out there. So a lot of my marketing has been online, and I'm an old school marketer, Dan Kennedy style for anybody out there that can relate to some Dan Kennedy. But nowadays it's all online. So that has changed with AI and algorithms. So that's a bump for me that I'm having to adjust to. But then, we have the magic of online podcasts like this and Zoom calls and things that we can do online. It's just a little bit harder, let's just say, with the distractions, with the algorithms and AI nowadays because of that. Again, I'm old school, so I like to talk to people belly to belly and face to face like we're doing. So that's the beauty of a podcast that you can see and do video with. It's a lot easier to do that.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for the story, man. That's the kind of stuff people really don't talk about enough. So honestly, that's what kind of shows me how you've been in this for in this game for the long term, right? I can see your 40 plus years of experience really coming through because you've been able to overcome adversity and face things in a time of adversity and really adjust and pivot. And so I love that, man. And let me ask you this. What are you main focused on solving right now or scaling next? What's your next real goal?
Well, you brought it up, so I'll get into it. When I got into this business, the financial services business, 21 years plus years ago, I had some other businesses. I still, I love business, period. I'm an entrepreneur. I've never really had a job because, I love business. And once you feel that satisfaction of owning and doing on your own, it's a great feeling, but it comes with, responsibility and accountability. So my focus was on scaling and growing, recruiting, because I've done quite a bit of that over the years. I've been involved with other industries where I did quite a bit of recruiting, but, this is a tough business, just like any business is tough. So, people come and go. So there is a lot of fallout. So I've kind of shifted away from that. I like hands-on. So I want to grow the business, but it's not so much recruiting others now, even though we welcome anybody that wants to learn and to grow. But there is a learning curve, just like with anything. And I think that's really where sometimes people go into business with huge expectations of making money real quick. And, this or any business is not get rich quick for sure. It's more of a slow and steady. And then you see the fruits later on down the line. So that's kind of where I am. I love to grow and I love to help people. So I just want to help as many people as I can. And that's my focus.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it, the fact that you want to grow others. Like I absolutely love that. You know, you've had your years in the game. You like, listen, how can I pass on this knowledge, grow other people, get them to a level where they're earning, getting to a level where they're financially satisfied and sustained. And so I love
Yes.
that. And of course,
Yeah.
we know the next move it can either compound things or create total chaos, depending on how we play it. And so
Yes.
I get it. You know, it's that to me, that's a big thing that you're willing to do that even when you already have things in place, you know? And
Right.
so I think, it'll benefit because I hear you want to help other people. And
Right.
so I think this question is a good one for me, and I would love to hear your answer. People are listening, they're either early in their journey, they're looking to level up, and I think they benefit from hearing this. When it comes to building relationships and growing your network, what's made the biggest difference for you?
Wow. That's a good question. And networking is very important. In my younger days, I did a lot more of it, but I tell my kids all the time, and there's a book up here on my shelf, Stephen Covey, Seven
Mm,
Habits of Highly Effective People. And I was blessed when I was in college. Didn't really know what I wanted to do and wasn't the best student. I'm a C student at best. Okay. But here's what I learned when I was in college. I was blessed enough to be introduced to a program where I sold books and Bibles door to door in college. Okay. And I thought I was kind of going on vacation, a summer job. But little did I know this company that I worked for, Thomas Nelson, was the largest Bible publisher in the world, but they were also the largest publisher of self help books. So I got to sell school, they called it that summer. And Zig Ziglar spoke to us. And I don't know, for those of you out there, that Zig Ziglar's from Mississippi, where I'm from. He moved to Texas later on before he passed, but I got to see him in a small room. And
mm,
really that changed my life. The next year I got to see Dennis Waitley. And I really became a reader. Okay. I hated to read when I was younger. So education is key. And my buddy Jim Rohn said, and he's not with us anymore either, but Jim Rohn said, formal, and I might butcher the quote here, but he said, a formal education will get you a job. Self education can earn you a fortune, right?
mm.
So I'm a big advocate of learning and reading. And so that job taught me about self education. It taught me about learning and doing things on my own. And so I would recommend that to anyone, anybody that's looking at a career or investing. You need to learn. You need to do some homework, and that's not on the internet. Yeah, you can learn a lot on the internet, but pick up a book. This book here is what I recommend to my clients when we first sit down. You need to read that book. People come to me all the time and say, hey, I want to do that. And I usually just kind of stop them and say, do a little homework first, right? And then we'll talk about it because it's not get rich quick. It's something that you practice and over time you get better at. And that's why Nelson called it a practitioner program. And so many people that aren't necessarily professionals like me, they become practitioners just to further their education, right? So just like college, you can get a college degree, a undergrad, a BS, a BA, or you can go get a master's or a PhD. But see, the good thing is you don't have to go to school to do that. You can nowadays get your master's degree online. You can, and when I say online, not from a college, I'm talking about just go out there and watch the videos and read the books that people recommend, because that's really what's going to further you, as you progress. So I know I kind of jumped around a little bit there. I hope I answered that. But yeah, I would just say education is key. Self education.
I love it, man. I love it. But that's it goes your through line, like you said, you want to grow people and helping people grow also speaking into their personal growth with educating, expanding their mind, becoming better, just not human doings, but human beings, like changing your
Right.
identity about what the information that you bring in. So I hear you, man. I hear you. I love it, man.
If it's
But listen,
real
man,
estate, read a book. I know there's a lot of influencers out there in that space, but read a book. Sure, you can learn, but we learn by reading, we learn by visual, we learn by audio, and you need a little of all of it. So, yeah, I would definitely
absolutely.
suggest that for anybody.
I love it. Well, listen, Mr. Burry, before we wrap, if someone wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, maybe collaborate with you, learn more about what you're doing, what's the best way that they can reach out to you?
My business website is legacyinsuranceagency.com. My YouTube channel is Legacy Money. So if you're on YouTube, you can check that out. And there's various ways, but that's the best way is just through the website there. And I do a lot more to help people just with their attitude and their mental mindset. But that's the best way to get started is just reach out to me there. Legacyinsuranceagency.com.
I love it. I love it. Well, listen, man, I appreciate your time, your story, your perspective. I thank you for bringing that 40 years of experience and giving us some of these golden nuggets, man. I appreciate you,
Thank you,
sir.
Q. I appreciate it, Quentin. Having me
Absolutely.
on here and talking is a pleasure getting to know you.
Absolutely. Well, listen, those who's tuning in, if you found value in this, please make sure you are subscribed. We have amazing conversations still to come in the future, just like we had today with Mr. Barry Page. So thank you again, Mr. Barry Page. And to everyone, we'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.